Thursday. It's my pleasure to welcome to the program Distinguished Senator Ayo Arise. Distinguished Senator Ayo Arise is a member of the PDP. He is the senator representing Ekiti North Senatorial District of Ekiti State. He's also the chairman of Senate Committee Privatization.
Yes.
Privatization. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Ayokunle Fagbemi is also joining us on the program this morning. Mr. Fagbemi is Executive Director, Center for Peace Building and Socio-Economic Resources Development, one of the civil society bodies that monitored the Ekiti run.
Observed,
not monitor. You are going to be telling me the difference between an observer and a monitor shortly. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're also privileged to have on the program this morning a senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Emeka Ngige. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Wenga.
All right. We hopefully should have former Governor Ayo on the program, but he's not here. So, all right, he's not here yet. Let's go on with the program. Let me start with Distinguished Senator Ayo Arise before I come to the observer. I need some clarifications. Oye local government. Has elections been held in part of Oye, or is the entire local government that we are yet to hold elections?
No, the election is in 2 wards, and those 2 wards are in Oye Ekiti. That is my hometown.
Okay, elections are supposed to hold in 2 wards in
Only
Oye
2
local
wards.
government.
Yes, and Oye has just 2 wards. It's to hold in the town, 2 wards.
No, I don't get it.
Oye Ekiti, the
Yes.
local government headquarters, has 2 wards.
I know Oye town.
Yes.
Oye town is
It's part of Oye local
local
government.
government.
Yes.
Okay.
And the 2 wards that were cancelled are in
Oye town.
Exactly.
So there had been elections in other parts of Oye local government.
Oh yes.
Which have been affirmed by the
Exactly.
by the Court of Appeal.
Sure.
How
No,
many
those
wards-
places were never challenged.
Okay, how many wards were are those where elections will not hold?
10 wards.
10.
Yes.
Okay. So in all, Oye is made up of 12 wards.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification.
Problem.
I don't know whether I should go to Mr. Fagbemi now. Let's get. You were saying something, correcting me that you were an observer and not a monitor. I know that in elections you have monitors, you have observers.
Yes.
What is the difference between the two?
The monitor is someone who is statutorily empowered, like in this particular case, elections, by the electoral management body based on the electoral laws, in our case, Electoral Act 2006, who is empowered to go in, observe issues, and as the mandate, if need be that there are things that are going awry within the process, he has the authority within that scheme to get in touch with appropriate persons and authority that may allow some changes to be made in the course of issues. It therefore means that he has a right to observe on the one hand, and on the other hand, he has the right
To make observations which could lead to correction of some things.
correction of some issues. That is, he can intervene into some regards in the process. But a normal observer, which most of us belong to as civil society, all you have the right to do based on the guidelines for elections observation is that you can go to the same polling unit, you stand and you take a look at what is ongoing, and you are not interfering, you are not intervening in any of the processes, and you ensure that you are only there, you can only be seen, never heard, while there. And there are guidelines for you when you are through with your observation, how you go about doing your report.
If it became patently clear, for example, if I'm an observer,
yes,
and probably I saw some anomalies, maybe a glaring case of somebody trying to vote twice. I saw him voting once, he went away, a minute later he came back, he wanted to vote a second time. I'm not supposed to intervene.
As an observer, you are not expected to intervene. All you need to do is you take down your notes, you document the timing of the incident, and you go ahead to ensure that this is properly documented and captured in your report.
Okay.
The next issue, if you feel so strongly about it because you are duly accredited and you're supposed to display your accreditation, you may be able to go to the next level where, take for instance, if it happened in a particular ward,
Yes.
you should be able to say, okay, there are chains of command in your own organization that sent you onto the field. You get in touch with your own chain of command. Like for my own organization, we had a control room that we created in Ado-Ekiti while we were on the field. If anything like that happened, that control center links with the Electoral Commission if it was that strong that there was a need for a deliberate intervention. And then the other
if I see an electoral officer on location, can I report directly to him?
Because that will mean you are interfering in the process.
Okay.
And that is one of the mistakes that has taken place. And unfortunately,
I'm taking you up on this because I noted that you emphasized very much on that issue
in our report.
The interim report that you have released.
And then the other issue which is strong that connected to this is the fact that unfortunately, when all of us were so excited with the transition from military rule into democratic dispensation, some names were registered, and you started having organizations registered like Transition Monitoring Group.
It's a coalition of civil
society. It's a coalition, but ideally, if they were going to be called Transition Monitoring Group, then the National Assembly ought to have passed a legislation that will make sure that they are truly a monitoring group and ideally interfaced into the scheme of things. That has not been done.
Okay. Need to stop you. I'm told that our last guest is within the premises. Is that correct? Oh, okay. Please, let's take a quick break so that we'll get to Focus Nigeria now. His Excellency Ayo Fayose, former governor of Ekiti State. Welcome to the program. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right. Election monitors, election observers, that was the point we were discussing. You said that the TMG, for example, ought to have been registered by the national, or a law ought to have been passed. Is that
ideally such a name will not be approved if we were operating a very good system. That's the reality. Because when you say you are a monitor, you must have a legal framework that is duly passed by the National Assembly in our country so that they can really function in that capacity. I hope that the current the Corporate Affairs Commission will begin to review some of these things that we made
they
as
operated
mistakes.
as observers.
They operated as observers. They were accredited as observers to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, that's one part of the report that you have given. But let's ask. Okay, Sir, what Mr. Fagbemi said, is that the position? Is that in conformity with best practices as regards the electoral process entirely? Observer, monitor, any dichotomy?
Well, the instrument for the appointment of the electoral observers is the INEC manual, and then the code of conduct that the chairman of INEC compiled for the electoral observers. In that two instruments, I cannot see the difference or any dichotomy between monitor and observer. But one thing he said that is correct is that an observer is to observe, point out any irregularities or deficiencies to the INEC officials, the EO or the SPO, as the case may be, but not to interfere in the process. I have not seen the particular provision where a monitor can interfere. I have not seen such, and there is no dichotomy. To the best of my knowledge, I stand to be corrected, by the guidelines for election observation released by INEC and by the INEC manual for the conduct of election between a monitor and observer. When you monitor, you're observing. When you observe, you are monitoring. So I don't see any difference.
What I said, and we need to be very clear on this. One,
okay, for the purposes of the Ekiti, were there people that were accredited as monitors and people that were accredited as observers?
The best authority to speak on that will be the INEC itself, because what they
normally... Did you see any such difference?
What I know and what I saw in Ekiti, for example, is that the INEC chairman at the stakeholders consultation of Thursday did identify some particular individuals and groups that they were going to play some critical roles in connection with some of their staff that are assigned to go onto the field. Part of their own mandate will be they note issues and they have their own information flow with which some corrections can be made. And that is part of what informed in this wise that for the Ekiti re-run election, you had 3 national commissioners that were deployed to Ekiti State. You had 3 resident electoral commissioners that were deployed to Ekiti State. Those are the kind of people that usually have the authority to be involved in monitoring, because now they can oversight, they can see things.
And they also carry some capacity.
They carry some capacity. They have some legal weight. And when you take a look at those of us who are civil society observers, the reality of it is that, yes, the same kind of data that the man that has the capacity to monitor is what you're using.
Yeah.
But you cannot obstruct the process. You do not even have the right to have a chat with anybody while on location. What you do is you stand aloof and take a look.
Okay. Well, distinguished Senator, what I have seen here is probably a situation whereby the electoral management body decides to cede part of its authority to some people called monitors, in the sense that they are not just to observe, but they can also exercise some powers of the INEC by maybe pointing out to electoral officers on ground that that's not what the rules is, this is what the rules is, this is what you should do, or probably attend to some complaint on the spot. Probably that's how this question of having a dichotomy. Whereas observers, observers on the other hand, are just part of beefing up the process to ensure that we also have independent eyes and ears there who can also do independent analysis of situations where you may not necessarily have monitors as well. Am I correct?
Well, from the analysis given here, I have not done any significant study on monitoring the observers, but I know that they are required to be accredited, and I know that the process of accreditation has been largely abused during this election. We saw many people who wore tags and said they were observers or monitors, and they turned out to be, in our case, AC people. The chairman of local government, Alimosho in Lagos, was caught in Oyo Ekiti, and he claimed he was a monitor. So, and we have several incidences of that happened. I think it's a process that has been thoroughly abused during this particular election, and I think, like the gentleman Fagbemi said, we need to have terms of reference for whatever we do in this country. There must be laws guiding activities of people like this. If you decide to say you are a monitor and somebody gives you a tag, you work for a particular political party, and you come to that place to actually do their bidding, and they fund you. These are things that we need to look at. How do they get their funding? Who's responsible for that? How do they get the tags? Who issues the tags? And that way we will be able to have some sanity in the midst of such observers and monitors. So I don't know about this dichotomy, or it's defined.
Okay. Your Excellency.
Well, I really don't want to join issues at this point, but I just want to make an observation as regards what the distinguished senator said, and link it back to the Senate in a way. Now, you mentioned the Alimu